Hello, Mrs. Smith. Welcome in. It's so good to see you today. I want to thank you for coming in and taking the time to go over some assessment results that we have for your son, Timmy. So the assessment that we used was the pragmatic profile from the clinical evaluation of language fundamentals, also known as the CEL-5. This was administered for Timmy through observation in the classroom setting. So what does this test measure? This test helps us understand Timmy's pragmatic language skills, focusing on how he uses language in various social contexts and situations. In this case, like I said earlier, in the educational setting, a structured educational setting where Timmy's in the classroom, where he's in the lunchroom or out on the playground interacting with peers, etc. So we got some scores here based off of Timmy's results on this assessment through observation. And I'm going to tell you what they are, and then we'll go back and I'll explain what they mean and answer any questions that you may have. So the total raw score collected for Timmy was 112, and this transferred to a scaled score of 3. So what does this mean? What do these scores mean, and what are possible target areas based on these results? That's what I'm here for, to tell you today. So these scores Timmy received are available as scaled scores, that 112 number that I told you, with a mean of 10 and a standard deviation of 3. So a score of 10 on this measure represents the performance of the typical student of a given age. So we compared Timmy's age to same age peers. So scores in the range of 8 to 12 are considered average. Scores at or more than 1 standard deviation below the mean, so 7 and below, indicate that the student is demonstrating below average to very low social communication abilities relative to his same age peers. It should be noted that these scores may or may not significantly impact academic achievement and participation in classroom activities. And so that's why we have gone with this assessment for Timmy, to see where he's at and to see his strengths, his weaknesses. So Timmy's scores were within the low to very low range. Overall, these results of this profile were used as a comprehensive list of pragmatic skills and behaviors that were observed. To start off today, I want to look at Timmy's strengths, and then we can go to areas of improvement. I know it might be hard to hear that Timmy's scores were at a low to below average range, but also could be something that you are familiar with or you expected. But if not, we just want to go over some areas of strength and some areas that are in need of improvement. So areas that weren't of any concern while observed, when Timmy is using strategies for responding to interruptions and interrupting others, does well asking for clarification if he's confused, if the situation isn't clear in classroom. That was observed as something that Timmy can do, being able to ask, hey, what's going on? I don't understand this. And reminding others or responding to reminders, Timmy does well there. Responding when asked to change his or her actions, accepting and rejecting behaviors, Timmy is displaying great strength in these areas, and I just named 4 or 5. Some areas of concern in the classroom setting. The list that we compiled was 25 off of this assessment, so it is a lot, but we just want to go over some of those. Turn taking in conversation, asking for directions, offering to help others, other classmates, helping in the classroom or out on the playground, being able to transition from one activity to the other, staying, beginning, ending conversations as well, the use of facial expressions in communication, body language, gestures, these areas as well are areas of concern that we have for Timmy. Expressing messages by using gestures or facial expressions. And we have the list here for you to see as well, all these other areas. So we just wanted to go over that today. So observation of Timmy's use of social and pragmatic skills in a structured educational setting revealed concerns. However, particularly in the area of eye contact, transitioning into and out of social groups, and self-regulation during activities required increased focus. The CEL-5, this test that we administered, pragmatic profile, was completed by Timmy's teacher, like I said earlier. His scaled scores, were below average, like I said as well. And the areas of concern that were listed from this assessment, there were 25, and here in this document that I have, this report I have written up for you, you can see these. You can see his strengths, his weaknesses, and you can see how he did on this assessment overall. Based on the teacher's observations, Timmy's ability to succeed in the classroom setting is being affected by his difficulties with pragmatic skills. Thank you so much for coming in today and listening. And if you have any questions about this report that I have in front of you, or just anything else that you need, please let me know. Please ask away.